ready from O, so let's get started with game number 1 of this second match of the event. Transition with a 884. Nice square piece to the left side. Needs a Lombard now. Is not getting the Lombard time, and will tap out with a 887. For that Lombard. Doesn't get the Lombard over to the right side. Failed the 4 tap. No. Oh no, that's gonna do it for Hydrant. Out of nowhere.
Change between everyone, you love to see it. And hey, I have a ready from both players, so let's count this one down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And the game is now afoot. We will start off getting to know our player on the left, Cryticalapis. He's from the United States and is a roller. As you can see, that is his main play style. He's been to a handful of in-person tournaments, 2 Boston, 2 Parity. Went to Philadelphia this year. Also went to the Northeast Regional at Hartford. Made the gold bracket in every one, but he would either get knocked out in the first or second round. As far as online ventures, he's done a bunch of CTM, CTBWs. He's doing the SLCF Tetris for a charity deal. And as you can see, he is in CTL Division 1. All right, and when asked what he's known for, well, you see it right there on the screen. He's known for stacking really high and being good at digs, and he's living up to that meta right here, right now. Now, his other accomplishment that he wants to share, he's got a 761K DAS PB, so hey, that's pretty good. That would have got you into gold bracket at Jonas Cup. Anyway, we're 30 lines in, and I'm going to say this is neck and neck. Simul Tetris, 144K for Cryticalapis, 145K for Wallbant. And right now, we are separated by push-down points in this one. A hey now on the board for Cryticalapis. Love to see it. Now, I suppose I could have mentioned the tap 1.3, but I didn't have that on my list of super awesome fun stuff to share about Cryticalapis. So, you gets what you gets. Anyway, we're a third of the way to transition. Looks like about a 540K pace for Cryticalapis and a 510 for Wallbant. As you can see, Cryticalapis up by about a Tetris as they both throw one down. Their scores are 240,000 for Cryticalapis and 242K for Wallbant, but Lapis throws down a Toastress, takes the lead right back, so we're hovering between a Tetris lead and neck. Right, and coming up on halfway to transition, Cryticalapis is on a 600K transition pace, so good performance early on from him. Wallbant is at a 570,000 pace, so both players looking good in this opening round matchup. And we continue to move on towards level 19. I'll see if I can sneak a little bit more cool info about Cryticalapis, because as you may or may not have heard, we've expanded our fun facts listing. So we'll maybe get to that in a little bit, as both players get a Simul Tetris. 80 lines in now. It's about a 1 Tetris lead still for Cryticalapis. They've hung even for most of this game. 402,000 for Cryticalapis, 380,000 for Wallbant. And you know, there's not a whole lot to talk about. Well, actually, I take that back, as Wallbant is appearing to set up for a dirty column 8 Tetris, and he gets it as the drought counter begins. Dirty column 8 for Wallbant, and he's going to stick with it and simultaneously transition that well back over to the right side. We're coming up on 100 lines, and that lead is alternating between Wallbant and Cryticalapis. Cryticalapis, he does miss that Z spin, so he's gonna have to do a couple lines of burning. Gets the well open, does get the Tetris, and oh my gosh, that was a nice T spin tuck to just maximize the efficiency there. A great move by Cryticalapis. Wallbant's board, on the other hand, looking nice and clean. Only down by a few thousand points, so very, very close as we near the transition. Now looking as we near the transition to level 19, Cryticalapis a little bit ahead in the line count, although that Tetris from Wallbant makes it a little closer to even. His board's getting probably a little more jagged than he'd like as on Wallbant's side, so he's going to have to take a couple of burns. And oh my goodness, that spin tuck was beautiful by Wallbant. Holy crap, what a move on his part. These players are showing out for this first game. And right now, Cryticalapis transitions into 19 at 597,000. Wallbant has enough lines available to get a Tetris, but he's probably going to burn into 19. So let's see if he can get this stack a little bit safer before making that switch. That's going to help. He could potentially get out of this situation. Gets the 5-tap over, takes a flat burn, and now he's got that dirty Tetris well open for a moment. So I think we can say Wallbant has gotten out of this because he opens up the well and gets a Tetris. 674k to 575k. Cryticalapis has opened up a nearly 100,000 point lead, while Wallbant was in that massive dig very high up at transition. And now it's Cryticalapis who's building dirty and gets the dirty Tetris and then gets a burn on top of it. Just some great stacking from both of these players. Cryticalapis ahead by a couple of Tetrises. And as we go into level 22, we'll get you a kill screen pace check very shortly as both players throw down a simul Tetris. And right now, Cryticalapis is on about a 1.01 million pace. Or 1.11 million pace. So he's on a 1.1. Wallbant, not quite there. He's on just over a max, so we'll call it a 1.05. So Cryticalapis with the pace edge and the score edge. He is a little bit ahead in the line count, but it's still a true lead on his side of the screen as both players into levels 23 and 24. Ooh, and still, just great stacking. Even on 19 speed, the fact that we're 50% faster than you'd see on level 18 speeds isn't phasing these players a bit. You saw the high down stacking from Wallbant at the transition. You're seeing very clean Tetris from Cryticalapis and a simul Tetris from both. Just a masterclass of solid fundamental Tetris play from both these players. Maximum efficiency, great stacking, high scores. A max out from Cryticalapis. He has a 1.002 million, and he still has lots of time before we reach the kill screen. On to level 27 he goes. Wallbant on the other side, also into level 27, and he's got a max out, so it's a double max out in game number 1, folks. And a Tetris from Wallbant, he's only down by 10,000 points, so this is about a third of a Tetris advantage for Cryticalapis as we near the kill screen. In fact, Cryticalapis only has 2 more potential Tetrises he can get. There is one of them, and he's going to burn into kill screen at 1.117 million. Wallbant on the other side has 2 more Tetrises he can pick up before that switch to 29. There is one of them, and he can get one more. He does have that burn in hand. He's not set up, so he's just going to burn in at 1.111. Cryticalapis still with the lead. He's on to level 30. Wallbant on 29. The speeds have doubled at this point, and they are still going strong. Wallbant Tetris ready. Waiting for that long bar to show up. It comes one piece too late, but Wallbant's board is still in decent enough shape. He just has to open up. Meanwhile, Cryticalapis is going to have to do some work to get that mess around column number 4 taken care of. And Wallbant has taken the lead into level 31. He's up by about 16,000 points. That will call that a third of a Tetris or so. almost Tetris ready as Wallbant. Same with Cryticalapis. So he's got a long bar dependency in column 5. He's going to need some burns. And we're on level 32. Will we see double kill screen in this game? That is the big question. As Wallbant continues to grow this lead. At kill screen, Wallbant was down by about a third of a Tetris, and now he's up by over a Tetris. But Cryticalapis is Tetris ready. He gets a Tetris, and now it's a 5,000 point differential between these two players. And we are on a collision course with this double kill screen, it appears. 40 lines away is Cryticalapis, 45 lines away is Wallbant, but Cryticalapis' board is in trouble, and he's going to top out, and that is going to do it. Wallbant takes game number 1. 1.353 million to 1.247 million. And he's got a drought, but about 30 lines away from double kill screen here is Wallbant. Still going on, still going strong. Let's see, let's see what he can do with these final 25 lines. I'm here for it, but we'll put that heart on the board. Wallbant is going so hard his drought counter has malfunctioned. That's how intense Wallbant is playing right now. He is absolutely locked in. Still going for this. Has 12 lines to kill screen. That's 3 Tetrises he could potentially get before we go to that level 39 double kill screen. There's another Tetris. He wants the 1.5. Will the game give it to him? Again, one more Tetris, and he's going to try and sell out, but RNG says not happening. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And we got to know Cryticalapis in that first game. Let's take some time to get to know Wallbant. Now, Wallbant comes to us from Canada. And I will also mention, I have met Wallbant... Actually met Wallbant 2 times now. I guess technically you could say 3 times. We probably crossed paths at CTWC, met him when he came to Mini D, and also at Jonas Cup. Went to school for mechanical engineering, and I know that Wallbant was job hunting a little while back. I don't know if he got a new job, but fingers crossed, hopefully that got taken care of. As you can see, Wallbant is a roller, but he is still a very strong DAS player, as you probably saw at Jonas Cup. He's been to many in-person events, CTWC the last 3 years, Montreal last year, Motor City, Boston T Parity, and 2 Boston 2 Parity, and UWO Canada last year. And I'm going to add a couple more onto that. Went to Mini D, of course, and Jonas Cup this year. Wallbant has won CTM Future Circuit 3 times, and as of when he submitted this, I would have to look up the results. He mentioned he made top 16 in DAS Masters so far. Now, we're about 35 lines in for both players. Wallbant with the edge, 165k to 172k. Well, actually, I think Cryticalapis just took that lead. So right now, it is Cryticalapis up by a quarter of a Tetris. Add a little more onto that. His pace is at 590,000. So another good early game performance from Cryticalapis. And Wallbant waiting for that long bar to show up. It's not coming for him. There it is. Tetris for Wallbant, and he's over a 600,000 pace. We're going to call this about a 620,000 for level 19. Now, Cryticalapis has some... Has a bit of a mess on the side of his board. He's building up a little high, but as you saw before, this is kind of what he's known for, stacking high and digging his way out of it. But he can't get that long bar over, and Wallbant is going to take game number 2. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Okay, here we go. Seed's looking good this time. And Wallbant with the early pushdown points, the modified Sidnev strats wants to ensure that we do not have a tie in this one. So, let's go ahead and we'll continue to get to know Wallbant a little bit more. had that early top out, so I wasn't able to share all the cool stuff I can about our Canadian competitor. Outside of Tetris, enjoys party games, and I'm assuming that means either card games like Cards Against Humanity type stuff, or maybe it means party games as in something like Jackbox. Inquiring minds want to know. He plays badminton, and his words, was cracked in high school. And his hobbies include working out and speed cubing on and off, and I can firsthand vouch for Wallbant's skill and prowess when it comes to speed cubing. Dude's an absolute mad lad when it comes to speed cubing. And in fact, speaking of that, he did win the Canadian Cubing Championships back in 2017. Right now, both players with a little bit of a struggle board, so we'll bring our attention back to the game at hand. Wallbant is going to get a dirty nothing because that long bar burned 0 lines. And now things are getting a little troublesome for both players. Entering survival mode are both Cryticalapis and Wallbant. Wallbant gets a dirty Tetris, a stack-saving, a game-saving, dirty center well Tetris for Wallbant. And Cryticalapis gets a dirty Tetris of his own. Both of them have brought things down to a much more manageable state. And Cryticalapis now on about a 360,000 transition pace. Meanwhile, Wallbant's on about a 600,000 transition pace. So despite building up high, Wallbant was still able to maintain some very great efficiency. So yeah, you could literally say Wallbant was living on the edge, couldn't you, Rogue Potato? We're over 50 lines in now. A hey now on Cryticalapis' side. 169k to 260k. Again, Wallbant up by just under 100,000 points. That's a roughly 4 Tetris advantage for him. Although he's got a little bit of burning to do, so if the long bar shows up for Cryticalapis, he could cut into this lead. And there it is, 20 pieces in, a slight drought there. Now halfway to transition. This is about a 430,000 pace for Cryticalapis and a 570,000 pace for Wallbant as both players throw down another Tetris. And now we're at 75 lines in for both players. Wallbant still maintaining that lead. 335k to 286k as Wallbant still in front, but Cryticalapis does get that Tetris around 80 lines in. And this lead, which was once at about 100,000 points, has roughly been cut in half and more. Only about a Tetris and change is that lead for Wallbant, but he's going to get some of them back with that throwdown. And now both players looking at clean stacks. Just about Tetris ready here, both of them. Current score is 337k. You know what? Make it 360k with the Toastress for Cryticalapis and 388,000. And guess what? Another Toastress, 411k for Wallbant. So you get a double Toastress here. And now at 100 lines, we've got more Tetrises than you know what to do with. Wallbant still hanging on to that lead of a couple Tetrises now. Both players over 400,000 points here in game number 3. Right, Critical has to do a little bit of burning, and he's gonna burn at least a couple more lines as he had to cover up the right well. But Wallbant is not Tetris ready, so he's not really going to be able to capitalize on Cryticalapis' board not being ready. And in fact, Cryticalapis gets the Tetris first, and he's ready once again. Wallbant is going to have to burn a couple of lines to get free, and that O piece perfectly takes care of business. Wallbant has 3 more Tetrises, as does Cryticalapis. Only 2 now for Cryticalapis. Okay, only 1 more back-to-back Tetrises for him. So this next Tetris will send Cryticalapis into level 19. And Wallbant could get 2 more, but if he burns any lines, he's going to lose one of those Tetrises. And Cryticalapis transitions 527,000. He is on to level 19. Wallbant is as well with a 578 transition score. So now we have a race to the kill screen. We saw a great game in the first one between these two. We had a double max out, double kill screen going well into the 30s for levels. Will we get a repeat of that? We can only hope for such a thing. Both players on level 20. Cryticalapis doing his best to eat away at this lead Wallbant has assembled. But he's got that gap on the bottom of his stack now, so he'll have to do a little bit of burning unless he wants to go super aggressive. But it looks like he just wants to burn that out, get that well back down, and start throwing down Tetrises, because Wallbant is indeed Tetris ready, and he is looking to throw some pieces down. 734 to 665,000. Wallbant with the edge with 69,000 points. That's a hey now. And another Tetris for Wallbant. Cryticalapis has one burn. Gets... that didn't burn it. Okay. So he's got a Vit set up now. But he's going to end up needing to burn that off and try and get back to building for Tetrises. Cryticalapis is right around a max out pace. Just about 1 million points. Wallbant, a little bit higher than that. He's looking at probably a 1.1 million, roughly. And Jazzy Josh asking the real important questions here as these players fight towards the kill screen. How toasted should a piece of toast be? And Rogue Potato, reading my mind, it should be toasted until it's bready. I love that answer. But I would say at a bare minimum, in order to be considered toast, there has to be some crispiness to the bread. So you've got to at least put it in the toaster oven long enough for the bread to have a crispness factor. There should be some crunch when you eat it. Because if your toast is chewy, you're not really having toast. After that, I'd say it's probably a matter of personal preference how hard you want that thing to be toasted. But these players are not toasted right now. They are not only not toasted, they're not cooked. They have great stacks, 986k to 949k. Cryticalapis is trailing by less than a Tetris. He's on to level 27. And Wallbant is still on 26, but he's going to transition in to level 27 with the max out, 1.029 million. And Cryticalapis gets the max out as well. So we're in double max out territory. Cryticalapis has 2 more Tetrises he could get, although he might end up having to burn into the kill screen here. No, he could set up for 1 more. He got the burns he needed. Wallbant also on his last Tetris before level 29. Will they get the Tetris or will they have to burn in? Again, Cryticalapis has no burns available, so if he clears any lines, he's going to kill screen. Same with Wallbant, and this long bar is not showing up. What a drought for these players, as Cryticalapis does get the Tetris. 1.12 is his score. Wallbant as well, but Cryticalapis up by just under a Tetris. 1.16 to 1.12. Another fierce kill screen battle between these two. And another Tetris, Cryticalapis with the 1.2 onto level 31. And by the edge of his seat, this is a true lead for Cryticalapis, and Wallbant's going to top out. Wallbant can't hold on any longer, and Cryticalapis takes game number 3 in an absolute kill screen thriller, 1.218 to 1.135. And we'll put that heart on the board for Cryticalapis. What a game number 3. 4, 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Well, Z, an O, and an L. I was hoping for the zoo opener. I wanted the... Actually, no, that would be S-O-O, not Z-O-O. I can read letters, people. Actually, that's probably worse because that means our opener was S-O-L. That is not a good sign for game number 4. So our last little factoid about Wallbant is he likes trying new things when given the opportunity. He loves scenic views of nature, and says he takes very few photos during his travels. Whoops. Same Wallbant, same. I I am usually not in pictures when stuff's happening, like I go on vacations or whatever, so I am very much in the same position as you. So in this game number 4, Wallbant with the win will take the match 3-1. And Cryticalapis with the win can force a decider here. And shoutouts to Chen on a 3-stream streak, racking up those frequent flyer miles on the CTL live streams. Hope you're enjoying the Super Show, Chen. We've got a good one for you tonight with 4 tremendous matches. Now, 30 lines in. It's a 165,000 for Wallbant and 88,000 for Cryticalapis. The Cryticalapis has a couple of great tucks to get Tetris ready. Now just needs that long bar to show up. Not to be outdone, Wallbant's board also looking really clean. But that long bar is not showing up for either of these two. This drought's growing. We're at over 20 pieces now, and it's showing no signs of slowing up. How long is this drought going to go? 30 pieces and still going. My goodness, where is the long bar? 37 pieces. It finally shows up at 40 pieces, and both players get a Tetris out of it. We're over a third of the way to transition. We'll update you in about 10 lines as to what their transition pace is looking like, as we just saw an extreme drought. Be sure to water your lawns, folks, because that drought was brutal. The current score is 167,000 for Cryticalapis. Make it 190 after the Toasteress. 287k for Wallbant. And now Cryticalapis is halfway to transition. This is a 420,000 transition pace for him. Wallbant holding out for that long bar. He's going to get it. And this is about a 580,000 transition pace for Wallbant. He currently holds a 3 Tetris lead. Well, make it 4 after that one, so it's not insurmountable by any means. This is something that's easily able to come back from. But if Wallbant's able to maintain this pace, Cryticalapis might have his work cut out for him. But Wallbant just continuing to try and grow this lead, hovering around 3 or 4 Tetrises, gets another one. He's over 400,000, 402k for Wallbant, 305,000 for Cryticalapis. There we go. Tetris for Wallbant. Cryticalapis is... he is almost set up for a dirty. And there it is. Dirty Tetris ready. But is the board long bar ready? He is holding out for it. It comes one piece too late as he puts some weight on that well right as the long bar showed up. But he still gets the dirty Tetris. But in that high dig situation, it allows Wallbant to add on to this lead. 471k to 358k. Now up by almost 5 Tetrises as Wallbant as we pass the turn and set ourselves up on a collision course for level 19. All right, we haven't seen a long bar for a hot minute. We're entering drought territory once again. And the drought is not... This is another tough one. Cryticalapis can't use it for a Tetris. Wallbant can, however, and Cryticalapis is up high once again. Can he get the pieces to get out of this? He is flinging them over left and right. Gets a great last-minute adjustment at the top of the board. And now a double and a flat burn, and this is just allowing Wallbant to expand this lead that he has, now at 590,000 points. And Cryticalapis just hoping that he can get something over to the left to bring this board down, because he's only a couple lines from transition. He goes in very high, 402,000 points. And, well, he's got his work cut out for him. As Wallbant transitions at 615,000. My goodness, Wallbant. But Cryticalapis, he's brought the board down, and he's going to get the Tetris. Just a monumental dig from Cryticalapis. If he was a cat, he probably would have used up all 9 of his lives on that dig. Gets out of it, and now has to try and pick up the pace as Wallbant is up by 8 Tetrises. 672k to 442k, make it 468. So Cryticalapis will have to play the long game in this one. With how Wallbant's doing, this will probably require some kill screen play, maybe an early top out. Yeah, maybe both. But we'll have to stick around and see what ends up happening here. On to level 22 we go. We'll give you a peek at those kill screen potentials, scoring potential paces. Cryticalapis is looking at about a 810,000 kill screen pace. Wallbant, on the other hand, over here is looking at a 1.11 million for kill screen. And as a result of building up extremely high for as long as he did, Cryticalapis is about 10 lines ahead. So he's got those 10 lines in the future. So you could make the argument that this lead for Wallbant, which is sitting at 2 Tetrises, might be bigger than advertised. And there we go, Tetris for Wallbant. He's over 800,000 points, has expanded this back to a 4 Tetris edge. Meanwhile, Cryticalapis has a T-spin setup. Is he holding out for this T-spin? He absolutely is. Really wants that T-spin, but the T piece is not showing up. Of course, now it shows up after he can't get that. Just Tetris things over here. But Wallbant just continuing to pour the pace on. 823,000 to 700,000, still up by a few Tetrises, and he's on level 25. Cryticalapis is actually on level 27 now. Down by 92,000 points, make it about just under a 2 Tetris lead for Wallbant. As we inch closer and closer to the kill screen and 100 more lines potentially once we get there. All right, Tetris for both. Cryticalapis has 2 more Tetrises that he can get before level 29. And there is one of them. He has a couple burns that could be used if necessary. In fact, he's going to use one of them, and he's going to get that long bar. Tetris is in at 910,000. So kill screen time for Cryticalapis, and he's going to need to do something. He's down by half a Tetris. Wallbant, on the other side, has 2 more Tetrises he can get. Actually, he burned one of them away, so he has 1 more Tetris available to him before level 29. He has the max out, still has the lead, now waiting for the long bar. Tetris at 1.042 million. That's his kill screen transition. And up by about a third of a Tetris is Wallbant. He's also about 20 lines behind Cryticalapis as a result of the events from earlier in this game. And now Cryticalapis gets the 5-tap over. He needs to open up that well. Now he needs a long bar. Gets the long bar and the Tetris into level 32. And he has the lead right now. 1.086 to 1.066. Cryticalapis with the lead. He's on level 32. Wallbant's on 31. And these players are giving it everything they have in this game number 4. And who knows? Maybe we even get double kill screen. And now Cryticalapis, he's going to need a 5-tap over there. Wallbant is safe on his board, but not so much for Cryticalapis. He can't 5-tap the Z piece over, and he's going to top out. Wallbant, you have a chase down. 1.111 million is what you need. 1.111, about 12,000-ish more points, and Wallbant takes it. And knowing he needs just a few more points to win, he's just doing it piece by piece, burn by burn, and Wallbant gets the chase down, and he gets the match 3-1. But Cryticalapis in those games gave him everything he could handle, and Wallbant gets the win 3-1.
All right, there you go. We got it ready from both players. So let's get started with game number 1 of this best of 5 matchup in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. There you go. $65 gets you to the prize pool. I made it very difficult on myself because I decided to use my actual debit card. I should have just used PayPal. Not gonna lie. But, I mean, it's just like that. I just clicked the link, put some money in it, and, like, now we're at $65. So, there you go. We're usually looking for a $1,000 prize pool goal. So let's keep that happening. Also, this stupid NTC, I need to remember to mute it. The actual NTC. That is so annoying. Gross. There you go, now it's muted. Also, I've come to the attention, it's come to my attention that I did not pay attention to the seeds, but it does look to be the same. Z, Z, L, square, L, T. Yeah, it's fine. It looks fine. Oh, but Wallbant in a bit of trouble here, getting droughted. Had a pretty flat stack. Right now, 85,000, 120 for Sodium. So Sodium with a cleaner start and more efficient. But still early days. And I should probably change the music, because nothing's really playing right now. Why nothing is playing? I don't know. I think the game just hates me. I think Whitebat audio just hates me, honestly. I tried to use it, didn't work, so we'll just switch to something else. I should make sure not to keep it too loud though. 180 for Wallbant, 190 for Sodium. So Wallbant 8 lines ahead, but Sodium still with the better efficiency. Yeah, it was very quiet. See, this is what happens when I use Whitebat audio. It just doesn't want to play. I tried. You saw it live here on Twitch. I tried using Whitebat audio. It did not want to play. So now we're using actually I think the first track is still Whitebat audio on this playlist, but it won't be after this track. So you live and you learn. 281 for Sodium, 274 for Wallbant. Sodium, a semi-finalist in Season 30, has made the semifinals twice in CTL. I don't believe Wallbant has made the playoffs, the championship playoffs, which is a top 8 mini single elimination bracket. Wallbant had to use that Lombard to solve the dependency and open up his right well. His Tetris gets a Tetris now at 413, taking the lead, but Sodium is behind by about 10 lines. After this matchup, we will be having Hydrant versus O to finish off the night. Sodium potential for a 600k transition, which is exactly what you want to have. A very, very efficient game here. And thank you so much for claiming a code. Let's see who it was. It was Remy Mouse. Thank you so much. Now we only need 16 codes left to claim before we have all 50 codes. And it's just a single click of a button. It is completely free. Come on, you guys. Let's get this done. The sooner the better. Wallbant at 517 solves the Lombard dependency in the center. Now J dependency solve. Would love to build up his left side. Gets a nice J-tuck. Tries to build up his left side. Forces to a triple. We'll transition with a potential slightly dirty Tetris. but still with a very, very low left. And this is not good for Wallbant. Transitions at 525. Sodium will transition at 594. Looks like Sodium was in a bit of a burn situation that prevented him from completing the 600k transition. So this slowdown is more beneficial to Wallbant, who is going to be cleaning his Tetris ready on row 2. Sodium does clean out first, though. Is Tetris ready? Gets Tetris 648 at level 20. Now Wallbant in a lot of trouble. This might actually just do it for Wallbant. It will top out at 535. So Sodium will take game number 1. Got a rate from both players. So let's get started with game number 2. Now we all know that there's going to be an L and a T as the first 2 C's in 3-2-1 Tetris. Unbelievable. CTL is indeed scripted. You know, the one thing I really hate about Restreamio, and I'd be surprised if it's just me, the delay is so bad. Like, jeez. I mean, honestly, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day because I don't use anything but the actual OBS capture to commentate, so it's not like I'm commentating over like the Twitch stream or anything. But I don't know, I sometimes I look over at Restreamio and it's like 5 minutes behind. Like, this latency is astronomical. Right now, some little online facts for both players. Wallbant is currently 1-1 with a 3-4 match record, 6 points this season. Has defeated Cole 3-1 but got swept by Cobra. Whereas Sodium is also 1-1 with a 4-4 game record, 7 points. Defeated Cryticalapis 3-1 but lost against Redshirt 3-1 as well. Says right here that he has 7 points, but with this game number 1 win against Wallbant has brought up his score up to 8 points in the leaderboard this season. So there you go. So far, out of all the players, all 16 players in Division 1, currently Cobra, Andy, Alex T, Scooty, SV, Hydrant, and Neko are the ones that are undefeated so far. But Alex T and Neko have only played 1 match. And we're just beginning, so. There you go. Oh, somebody else helped claim a code. Kathy